Just occasionally, I am pleasantly surprised by people actually following rules. Rules that often are broken, things like my favourite, overtaking on the left. Often you see people doing it thinking they can do it because they haven't changed lanes and thinking they can do it because they haven't broken the speed limit. So it's actually quite pleasant when I do witness people that do understand the rules. I know there's a lot of you that subscribe to my channel that do understand the rules, and I know there's actually a couple that for some reason watch my videos and yet you don't agree with anything that I say. Weird. So the first one was in January, and actually it was my learner Seth and I were on the dual carriageway. As you can see, there's a white Porsche who is in the right hand lane, the second lane, trying to overtake. Everyone is packed into lane 2, and I know a lot of people have a problem with this. I don't see too much wrong, if I'm honest, because if you're in lane 2 and you have someone in front of you, then you're actually not doing a huge amount wrong. But the distance people are following each other at, yeah, that's 100% wrong. If you watch the white Porsche, it pulls back into the left, and I said to Seth at this point, let's see what they do. And I'm half expecting them to gun it all up lane 1, overtaking everyone that's in lane 2. And they don't. They sit correctly back behind the red Nissan. And eventually the red Nissan does go to move back in, and because of the actions of the Porsche, it's a non-incident. You don't need to write home about it. And everyone goes to work and gets there safely. And that could be very different if the white Porsche decides at some point to just chin it off and overtake on the left. So that's the first situation. The second situation was actually today on a driving lesson. I've got a learner called Lucy, and we were practicing on the NDR, big dual carriageway up Norwich. She's practicing exiting the really, really big roundabouts, 3-lane ones. And she's making the decision of whether to move over to the left lane as she exits or whether to move to the right hand lane. Now, for learners, this can be really intimidating. So if you're going to comment, try and see it from a learner's point of view. So when she moves back in, she is hesitant about moving it across the left, and she could have done, as we discussed. But she doesn't like what she's seeing in her mirrors. So she makes the decision to exit into the right-hand lane. And that was her goal. So she's achieved the goal. If she's not happy, she's going to move into the right-hand lane as she exits. If she feels happy, she's going to go left lane. So she's achieved the goal, no problem. And we had a van that was on the left-hand side. Now, we talked about this after, and we evolved her so that she did feel more confident moving into the left lane as she exited. But if you watch the van, I was literally expecting him to overtake on the left. And you can see the moment before we actually signalled, he decides not to overtake on the left. He's getting closer, and then he kind of wakes up, if you like, and decides not to overtake on the left. We then signal move back in, and he overtakes us on the right. That's how it should work. That's how you should deal with someone that is in lane 2 that perhaps shouldn't be. Obviously, my learner's learning, so that's part of the evolution. Overtaking on the left is often the second wrong. So yes, my learner, of course, if she's a more experienced driver, should be in the left lane by that point. But she's learning, and she got much better at that throughout the lesson. But the van driver does the correct thing and doesn't put the second wrong in the situation, overtaking on the left and risking a collision. Very good to see as well. Who knows, maybe that van driver watched one of my videos on overtaking on the left. I'd love to take that claim to fame, but it's probably just someone that actually understands the rules and decides that, no, I can't overtake on the left, and I'll wait for a better opportunity. Everyone's safe, everyone going home. That is what it's all about. Don't overtake on the left.